you. This is Unplugged, where we give you all the updates on everything you need to know. I'm talking entertainment, sports, national news, global news, just the perfect cocktail of updates for you. Of course, this is brought to you by every NG, your one-stop for unlimited Nigerian trends. And my name is Judith. Now, without further ado, let's move right into the headlines. And first story has to be our favorite BB Naija couple, Neo and V. Now they are giving what they are supposed to give as a couple. Now, V just got herself her first hosting gig, and of course, Neo was there to celebrate with her, and he actually did the cutest thing ever. He sent her a bouquet of flowers just to say congratulations on your first hosting gig, and I wish you the very best. Now, V posted this on her Insta stories. I was like, oh my god, what a supportive man. And of course, people are like, oh, you all are so cute. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Now, while V and Neo are serving relationship goals, Tolanibaj is on another end serving business goals. Yes, Tolanibaj got herself a new deal. Well, she actually signed a deal with a talent management agency, which means if you want to reach Tolanibaj now, you have to bring her management. You can't reach her directly for business inquiries anymore. Now, this agency is also responsible for people like Tenny, Kida Koods, just a couple of highbrow people in the industry. So this is definitely a big one for Tolanibaj. But done with the BB Naija housemates, let's move on to other things that are happening in the country, especially with, internet personalities. And I'm bringing up Reno on mockery because just hours ago, he was accused of jilting his wife in the US and going to follow another lover in the UK who actually had a child for him. Now, this story was published by a media organization known as The Wheel, Nigeria, and the internet went wild, especially saying that just days ago, Reno was saying, oh, I don't have any sympathy for single mothers unless they were raped or, they lost a husband or something. And of course, people tore him to pieces. And I'm like, what kind of statement is that? So hearing that was like, okay, so you have no sympathy for single mothers, and here you are doing the same thing to somebody else if the reports are true. Now, Reno has come up on Twitter to say, look, I don't know where these reports are coming from, and I think it's a plus to distract me from the protest that I'm planning to stage in France. Remember that the president has gone to Paris for a summit, and according to Reno, he was putting together a protest, for the Buhari Must Leave campaign, something along those lines. So he felt like this was a ploy by the government, according to him, to distract him from these protests that he was, organizing in different parts of France. But we don't know how true these allegations are. And of course, Reno has come to say his side of the story. Well, the people who published the story haven't said anything. Of course, nobody has responded to that, but we'll definitely keep you updated as the story unfolds. And still on Twitter's story, about a year ago, we were faced with a situation. Now, a Twitter influencer, Fabuli, broke up with his girlfriend, Sansa, whose real name is Comfort, right? So they were doing couple goals on the internet. People were like, oh my god, you guys are the ultimate couple goals, oohing and ahhing. So it was really surprising when they broke up, and even more surprising when Sansa, alleged that Tife abused her in their relationship, he cheated and he raped her, and also leaked her nude pictures. Now, this allegation, she came out forefront and was like, look, I'm saying this with my full chest. He did this. And along the line, Tife apologized for these offenses. Now, people were like, oh, wow. So you actually did that? Even after calling her names after you broke up, you actually did this. Now, Tife apologized. And it seemed like everybody let go of the situation. Even Sansa herself, who went on to get married around 3 months into the situation. Now, just yesterday, that's a whole year after the event happened, Tife has sued Sansa for defamation of character, concerning the false rape allegations, according to him. Now, he posted up, the proceedings, and he said that he had sent this to her lawyers, and she had limited time to tender the apology. According to the documents, he was asking her to make a written and video apology to him and to all rape victims who he felt she had belittled their plight by the false allegations. Tife was also very serious about it, and he said that if she did not tender those apologies within the given time, he would be suing her for 100 million naira. Sansa hasn't said anything yet as of the time of this report, but we'll definitely keep you updated on that story. And let me know what you think, because so many people on Twitter were like, a whole year after the event happened, why didn't you do this while she was accusing you in the heat of the moment. Why did you have to wait for it to die down for a whole year? And other people are like, is this not what we say? People are allowed to sort issues the way they want to and take their time in processing stuff like this. So let me know what you think on the story in the comment section. Now let's finish with Tife and Sansa, and let's move on to something else that has been plaguing the internet for about a month now. I'm talking about the case of Baba Ijesha. Now, if you don't know the case of Baba Ijesha, he was accused of molesting a 14-year-old child, and along the line, the video of this crime was released, and people went haywire. Like, really? You had the guts to touch a 14-year-old like this? Who are you? Especially saying that this is somebody that is really popular in the movie industry. Now, while the situation was unfolding, we had so many people jump, on the issue just to defend and make sure that the full wrath of the law faces Baba Ijesha. Now, we had Iyabo Ojo, we had so many other people who were helping the affected actress, who happens to be Princess the comedian, help her fight for her daughter. And, eventually, around some 3 weeks into the situation, it was rumored that he was going to be released, and they were like, no, if you're releasing this man, I'm going to make sure that he does not see the face of the sun again. That was what Iyabo Ojo said at one point. However, just recently, he had been granted the bail to the sum of 500,000 naira with 2 shorties, and it was on the grounds of health problems. Now, his lawyer said that he was facing some traumatic issues in the cell, and he needed to get immediate medical attention. Now, his release, of course, has sparked reactions across board. People are saying, okay, you want this man to walk free after everything we saw him do on video, after his confession, because he actually confessed to this crime more than once. You're allowing him to walk free. How is this kind of sexual crime bailable? Well, we don't know how these things are going to unfold, and of course, we have to let the law take its course. But reactions trailing his release, especially from Iyabo Ojo and Princess, has shown that they are going to fight to the finish. Now let's talk about some national stories, and first up we're going to be talking about the Kaduna protest. Now, the Kaduna faction of the National Labour Congress, the NLC, have embarked on a 5-day warning strike to the Kaduna state government on the grounds that justly sacking public workers, public servants, government workers. Now, this strike began yesterday, and these people were saying so much. They had their placards, and they were really against the governor for his stance on sacking so many people. Well, the governor made a tweet, and he shared this tweet saying that no matter what the NLC, what the workers are doing, no matter the campaign that they are putting up, he is going to stand by his decision, because there were so many factors that compelled the government to take such a decision. Wow, this is really, really intense, and it's just something else, because yesterday Kaduna was on shutdown, and according to reports, the state hasn't had electricity since Saturday evening. So things are really, really getting heated over there. Now, talking about national stories, let's talk about the House of Representatives, who are set to legalize Indian hemp for economic purposes. Now, the spokesperson of the House, Mr. Benjamin Kalu, was speaking and saying that, because of the effect of the pandemic on the Nigerian economy, saying that we're heavily relying on oil, it's time to look at other sources of income, as they say, multiple streams of income for the country. And he just said that oil is just not it right now, and they're looking into agriculture, of which Indian hemp marketing holds a high stake. Well, I want to know what you think on this situation, the sale of Indian hemp, using it for economic purposes, and particularly mentioning Indian hemp as opposed to other agricultural produce. So I would really love to hear what you think on that story. Now let's talk about some global news or things that are happening in the foreign scene. I'm bringing you good news from the house of Ariana Grande, American musician. Now, Ariana Grande tied the knot with her lover, Dalton Gomez, over the weekend, and it was in a very, very private ceremony. When I say private, according to reports, 20 people from both sides were in attendance, and it was in her house. It wasn't in the church, it was in no event center, it was in her house. Now, if you're wondering who Dalton is, if you've seen the video with Justin Bieber, Ariana's song with Justin Bieber, Stuck on You, it was the guy that she was so cute and cuddly with in the video. Now to some sports news. English player Harry Kane has told the Tottenham management that he's set to leave this summer. Yes, I know, short notice, but he has notified them that he's planning to leave. And of course, different clubs have their eyes on him. I'm talking about Manchester United, Manchester City, as well as Chelsea have their eyes on him. So what club is Kane going to move to this summer? We don't know yet. Of course, these are just things that are in the works. Nothing is set on paper just yet, but we are looking and we'll definitely give you updates on that story. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Unplug. I hope you are as excited as I am giving you these updates to receive them. And don't forget to give your comments on any stories that piqued your interest, while I was talking. I'd really love to know your thoughts on the stories. And until next time, this is brought to you by Every NG, and my name is Judith. Bye.